Hello, hello, hello. How is it going, people? Yeah, I'm not even set up for today, but we're going to be going for it anyway. Welcome to the Underground. Tonight we have a stacked card of matches. In fact, I will actually get this set up so that we can talk face to face, tete-a-tete. Hopefully this looks okay. I need to switch to this mode to have a look. Oh god, it's way out of focus. There we go. Hello, hello, hello. How's it going? Welcome into the Underground. 3 matches all set for you tonight. I am ready to go. You can tell I'm wearing some nice clothing. It's cold here. But yeah, we've got 3 epic matches, a submission match opener between Andrade and Rowan, a MMA middle match, and then a epic main event. Strap on in. We're going into our opener right now, and I am really hoping that you guys will enjoy it. So let's get going into the arena for our opener tonight. We start with Andrade making his way to the ring. El Idolo looking to fire up. He's made the Underground his home.
It's scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Gomez Palacio, Durango, Mexico, weighing in at 230 pounds, Andrade!
Competing realistically in the Underground quite a bit now is Andrade. He has formed this place into his proving ground of sorts to move up the rankings and potentially vie for the top spot in this arena. Obviously, to get there, you're going to have to go through the big boy Kurt Angle to get to that top spot. Angle undefeated in the Underground, a man that beat Andrade in his debut here in IPW. And that has not sat well with El Idolo. But tonight, the challenge gets tougher. It's a lot more difficult to handle as the lantern looms on the rampway. The crowd cheering, but the fireflies are what's more looming. A harrowing sight as the fog grows closer. The Wyatt Six appear ahead of this singles match. Cross, Gacy, Loomis, and Rowan surround Uncle Howdy. And while it's only Eric Rowan competing tonight, this ensemble make their presence known each and every time one of them compete. Andrade has his work cut out for him. As we see just the menacing approach that is this Wyatt Six unit. we saw literally on a Tuesday night, Cross and Rowan competing against the mixed tag champs in a losing effort. Tonight, Rowan's looking to bounce. Gacy, is looking to bounce back for the Wyatts. Uncle Howdy sitting at ringside as we get underway here. Gacy, I believe, debuting in this matchup. Uncle Howdy at ringside as well. Set to be a good tester for these two stars. The ring, a very hollow ground for both of them in this opener. An MMA style matchup. No pinfalls. Submission knockouts. The only way to win. Nice Samoan drop by Andrade. Springboard moonsault as well. Follows it up very nicely here, does El Idolo. As this match continues on, displayed on our screens, we're starting to know just the potential these stars can have. Andrade, we know, is being tested here in the underground. Nice butterfly suplex there. He's also calling his shot now. Handspring Pele kick there from Andrade. Connecting on target. But Gacy into submission, crossface locked in. Referee signifying no tap. Kitchen sink avoided. As Andrade sent running. Both men going for that drop down leapfrog into something. Both falling short in that effort. Andrade going for it a third time. This time connecting that back elbow. Flush on the temple. Gacy taking quite a bit of damage, but honestly, he's firing back here. Andrade suffering shots across the body. As Gacy heads up top. Splashing, missing though. And El Idolo. Hammerlock. DDT. Plants down Gacy. Now looking for the submission. The cravat across the face. Not going to get a tap out here. And Gacy takes advantage. But caught with a kitchen sink. Finally, El Idolo connects with it. Both of these stars trying to find momentum. Slice. That's a Salida del Sol. Not Salida del Sol. That's Tetsuya Naito's move, whatever it's called. Destino! There we go. I remembered. Speaking of Destinino, Uncle Howdy got involved there, distracted Andrade, but Gacy, he's out of it. Not able to capitalize almost immediately, but he is now in charge. Fighting with Andrade. Snake Eyes in the corner. And he fires himself up. What is Gacy looking for here? Starts to run. Across the ropes. Handspring. Big lariat connects. Cravat of his own locked in. Andrade out. Both stars really looking to put an exclamation point on this match. Gacy DDTs. Andrade back to his feet and comes back swinging. has Gacy on the ropes. You have to feel maybe certain stars watching on this match. Nice dropkick there. The likes of Kurt Angle, who we haven't seen compete here since the showdown. But we don't really care about that. Now it's a hammerlock DDT. Crowns Gacy. Caught in the cravat again. Andrade not going to get the tap. Standing solo. There is Gacy. As he tries to pick up Andrade without any interference, but can't do so. And now Andrade stomping away. Tries to go Meteora, can't connect. Instead, Gacy hooks up Andrade onto his shoulders. Snake Eyes in the corner. You have to feel the Wyatt Six, obviously since the end of the showdown, have kind of made their presence known here in IPW. We're yet to see Uncle Howdy competing in the ring alongside the likes of Dexter Lumis. But realistically, that unit has the potential to do some pretty impactful things here as Gacy sends Andrade to the outside. Running the ropes. He's going up over with the tope con hilo. Unexpected to be seeing this in the underground. The high-flying offense. While this is a submission match, count-out's still a thing. The action must finish in the ring. Gacy up over. Rings of Saturn applied. Andrade, will he tap here? Feeling the pressure. He didn't tap though. Gacy tries to drop the scent on him. Unable to connect, and now Andrade carrying, bringing Gacy into the corner. Drops him. Up top stands Andrade. Moonsault misses. Connects the second time. Very Charlotte Flair-esque in execution. We saw it the other day. Speaking of the other day, butterfly neck breaker. The spinning out of it. Just beautiful from Andrade. He's locked into submission. Gacy needs to get that foot to the bottom rope. Is he aware of where it is? Doesn't matter though. He's still alive in the match. How much longer? Andrade heads up top. Spiral tap from Andrade. Connects that corkscrew-esque maneuver. Handspring misses. Both men failing to connect with their boots. Gacy either DDTs and takes advantage of the mistake. Gacy calling up. Andrade tries to connect with the big right, unable to do so, and now Andrade, big time uppercut to the back of the skull of Gacy, and now shots clubbing the face of the Wyatt Six member. And you notice just the welts across the chest of Andrade, his back also in the same sort of state. Gacy's face, a similar mess. I'm honestly surprised he hasn't been busted open just yet. But there's that spinning back fist from Andrade. Flush on the skull. The submission locked in again. The cravat trying to get a tap out. A referee checking. Hoping for a tap out, but no. Gacy escaped. And now hooks up Andrade. No, Andrade escapes the back door. Connects with a punch. Tries to connect onto Gacy. Trading of positions. Neither able to connect. Up springboard cross body from Gacy. And now shooting his shots through big time pump kick. Busts open Andrade. The rings of satin applied. Locked in deep. Andrade not gonna tap. Busted wide open. Uncle Howdy pleased with what he's watching. Maybe not now as Andrade hooks up Gacy. Butterfly neck breaker. The roll of the dice. And Andrade submission locked in again. This cravat, his weapon of choice. Wrenching deeper on it. And Gacy taps out. Andrade, a big victory here to kick off tonight's episode of The Underground. Certainly impressive by Andrade as he just locked in that submission hold to great effect. No escape there for Gacy. As loud noises kick off in my ear. But as we watch, we see just how much offense was actually landed by both men. Gacy did do a lot of work, but it did honestly fall pretty flat in the end. Impressive work by Andrade. The submission wrenched back far enough to get the tap out.
Here is your winner, Andrade.
Ending El Idolo's night in victory. Impressive one at that. But as we ready ourselves, bout number 2 is set to be a big un. Hello, it's me again. Andrade, victorious in the opener. Bout number 2, we're heading to the women's division. This one, honestly, I expect to see happen in the future. In real life more than anything. Because it is such a match that's... sorry, I need a drink, but... It is a match that's, in my opinion, would be an absolute farm fest, because it's two styles I'd say very similar in terms of ability. So let's get going with this I mean technically it's co-main event, but our second match of the evening. Once again returning into the underground. It's time for a bit of American Made.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring, representing American Made from Knoxville, Tennessee, Ivy Nile.
The Pitbull is being let loose here in the underground tonight. And to be honest, if you think about the talent that we have seen every single night of the week, here in the IPW. Niall is, oh god, Niall is someone that you can see sitting atop of a women's division, in the mid-card division, I should say. But
It's not over until I win.
to get there, you've got to go through a juggernaut.
From Austin, Texas, Jordan
Grace, very similar in style to what Niall can bring. Both powerhouses, both will hound you to the very end of a match. This is a matchup I really would like to see because of just how similar in terms of look, aesthetic, and honestly approach to wrestling. Grace, former TNA Knockouts champion, looking to make a warpath or forge her destiny in NXT right now. As for Niall, a graduate from NXT, without any championships to her name, just yet, I should say. Could potentially be forging a new path here in IPW. That path's currently being blocked by Juggernaut, who is just pushing her over and over into the mat, and now pushed her into the corner. Our referee causing the break, but not a clean one as Niall strikes back, frustrated with how this match's opening has gone. Tries to go gut wrench, gets thwarted here by Grace, and I think both these women will be trying to trade technical position. Obviously, Grace training currently with the likes of Jonathan Gresham, a master of technical wrestling. Niall learning under the tutelage of Chad Gable. Both can bring technical aspects, both pedigreed wrestlers. Niall showing some nice wrestling pedigree here. That crocodile roll, that gator roll, I should say. Now crossface applied. She also locked in a nice German suplex to Grace. And this is where a little bit of cockiness comes into play. Just if you're that good and you can taunt on your opponent, it's always a nice sort of affair. Now this is an MMA match, our opener a submission. The big difference, weaponry is legal. Grace, nice missile drop kick. Niall back to her feet quickly, coming back with a combo. Just sweeps her down with the arm. I think Grace was trying to nip up, but Niall not going to allow it. And the Pitbull staying on attack. Honestly, watching this, you start to think about the wrestlers involved. The likes of that could actually work together with these sorts of women. Now, if you're unaware, on Thursday we had this little discussion over women's tag team championships as the guitar busted over the skull of Niall. Weaponry obviously illegal in this sort of match, and we love it here in the underground. But as we were the point I was trying to say is, these two women as a team, just the technical prowess that could be showcased from them, as that's a big time knee to the skull. You start to think maybe this team would work. Maybe these two would provide such impressive offense. As right now it is very back and forth. That guitar shot has given Grace a bit more of an avenue into the match. But Niall got some early licks in. World's strongest slam. There is no pinfall in this matchup, by the way. It is KO. It is submission. The opener was purely submission. And Grace now. In a match like this against Niall, you start to think both women can bring submission offense. But realistically, it's the power game that favors both of them. And that's where we're probably going to end up seeing maybe a knockout. As Grace Military pressing Ivy Niall up, down she falls, almost cracking the head onto the table. Speaking of the table, it's set up and in play. Niall and Grace standing toe to toe, trading positions once more. Grace now has Niall. Bends are running into the table. And the Juggernaut spine busters Niall through the table, picks her back up, tries to go for something, can't get it. May have been that Death Valley. Niall quicker to the punch, not going to allow it to happen. And now Ivy charging in, the big time kick to the gut. Just drops Grace. And now Niall finds some more woodwork under the table, under the ring. It looks like we might be seeing these two go for a ride through another table. No count out in this situation. So I'm slightly concerned by what I'm watching. Both these women wanting it. Niall currently trying to get to it. Who would have thought setting a table up would cause this situation to happen? Niall taunting, trying to get out of there. The only one really trying to move. Just taunting at Grace. I can't move up there with this. There we go. It's weird. You can't move up with tables anymore. Anyway, battling begins again. No one saw that I took my controller off of the desk to move. But it's worked out as, well, both women return to the ring. Grace and Niall brawling. Niall, advantage, a kicks combination comes through. German suplex to follow through. Now watching on, trying to strike Grace. Connects with a lariat into the corner. Niall taking Jordan for a ride. The Juggernaut almost submitted there. The submission hold may have come through, but she's not going to get caught in it. And now Niall in trouble, in danger of being into trouble. The torture rack, spin out Blue Thunder. Niall caught in a world of hurt. Back onto the shoulders of Grace, the torture rack, arm trap torture rack. Not gonna get the tap. Instead, Niall escaping. Now hooking up Grace, trying to go for something. Has her on her shoulders, torture rack. Locked in a standardized torture rack, no arm trap on it. Now let's go the hold, realizing Grace not going to tap. And so more plunder going to be brought in. It's a football, an American one. Niall tosses it to the wayside, got what she wanted from it. Now lines up Grace. Tries to hook her up, can't get it. Instead, Grace now up, back on the shoulders, torture rack, spin out into the power bomb. Grace again, this time locking in that camel clutch. No tap. It's broken out of. Niall hooks her up. It's a dragon sleeper in deep. And Grace taps out. A big victory here for Ivy over Jordynne Grace. It's kind of a shock. This is how it's resulted. Grace takes an L. Niall takes a big time W. She's up to 3-0 in the underground, all via submission. Impressive by Ivy. Starting to see a queen of the underground starting to emerge in Niall. Making it her home. A big victory here.
Here is your winner, Ivy Niall.
Good one at that. With that victory, it takes us to the main event. Congratulations once again to Ivy Niall. The Pitbull takes a W. And I get to take a step forward towards the end of the stream. Because this episode of Underground, a special live one at that. We don't normally get to come in live. But when we do, it's always fun and exciting. I am just quickly going to write up the records from tonight. You missed the opener. Andrade beat Joe... I can't say his name. Joe Gacy via a big-time submission victory. And what you've just missed was Ivy Niall tapping out Jordynne Grace in our second bout. The last matchup of the evening. It is going to be an epic clash. And I won't spoil who's in it until we're there. So let's get going.
Truth will ultimately prevail,
Well,
but there's pain bringing it to light.
truth comes with pain. And so does a shot to the head. The chairman, Sean Spears, set to compete in the main event.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Niagara Falls, Canada, weighing in at 223 pounds, Sean Spears!
Surprisingly, according to my record, this is Spears' debut in the underground, which does not feel right. That being said, this man, a monster, competing in the ring. He does incredible things as and when he competes. Tonight, going toe-to-toe with a man we've seen before on IPW. but not in the underground. Tonight, it's the Battle of the Lasers in our main event. As the fire burns inside the ring, Spears must be scared because he has to go up against this man.
And his opponent from Ecatepec, Mexico, weighing in at 87 kilos, Penta!
With the fire behind him, Penta showing no fear, showing that strut of his, confidence exuded every step of the way to the ring. The singles match, no stipulation, just pure wrestling action. In your main event, it's gonna be epic, to say the least. Spears looks ready, as does Penta. We're underway. Sling Blade out from the get-go. And the springboard leg drop. Penta's getting rolling early. And this is something he did on Thursday night in our co-main event in a big victory against Tyler Breeze. Penta showed up, took Breeze to Japan, and then just ended it in a pretty gnarly fashion. Tonight, going up against Spears of all people. Sean, we know, likes to grapple, likes to be a pace slower. He gets it to a crawl, he gets in control, and it's hard for Stars to bounce back out of that very deliberate pace. Obviously, the Canadian right now in control. Legs wrapped around the neck of Penta. Till he snaps him shut around the throat. Penta's dropped, but he's back to his feet. Nice head scissor takedown. Springboard up, round with a sling blade. Penta's really prolific with that maneuver. Keeping the pressure on here, though, is Spears. Sean can't connect. Now Penta and Spears tie up for a third time. Overpowered is Penta. Spears and him clean break out the corner, which is surprising, but Spears still on the attack. Keeping going, punishing the leg. And has to be wary of the C4. Spears has utilized that Death Valley. This is a crucifix pin coming in here. 1, 2, not even coming through. Our first match tonight where pinfalls are a factor. Penta trying to connect, can't do so. Instead, sent running. Spine buster. That sit-out variation from Spears. Drops Penta, but Penta's still on the attack. Still going, still kicking, still screaming. Firing through. Sweeps out the leg, up into the handspring. Drops with the boot. That combination of strikes ends in a super kick. And Penta up rises Spears. Down he goes. The head kicked off and the glove tossed to one side. Penta looking to sacrifice Spears. Bang! Arm broken in half. Snapped at the joint, and Penta's looking to put the exclamation point on it. Penta driver! Center of the ring, the pinfall coming through. Spears kicks out. Penta not done. Breaker. That powerbomb style backbreaker, just, it's a deadly weapon. With such speed, such ferocity. Spears is struggling to keep up with Penta. We said that Spears will try to slow it down to a deliberate pace, but if Penta's moving at Mach 5, it's very hard to slow it the F down. The sling blade, it's a constant weapon to speed up the affair. And Penta just keeps landing it. Spears trying to steal it now. He found an opportunity to take over, slow down Penta. This is that deliberate pace Spears wants to work at. Can't connect with the super kick. Does on the second attempt. Penta, however, catching Spears on the return to his feet. Inverted DDT. Up, over, snapping the neck. There is Spears, who's lines up Penta. Up to the shoulders. Not gonna get the Death Valley, no C4 just yet, no explosion. Instead, Penta drags Spears into the corner. Sends him running, reversed. Penta up, over, back, stabber. Spiking the spine into the knees on the crash to the mat. Penta almost victorious off it. And Spears, he is surviving on instinct. You have to feel Penta's done enough at this point. Big time slap. Penta just chopping the body of Spears. Sean's in danger because Penta has him hooked once again. Penta driver. Leg across the neck. The arm trapped. How in the world is Spears kicking out? He shouldn't be in this match anymore. And Penta knows it. Once again, Penta driver. Connecting for a third time. The symphony is enough. And Penta's victorious. An expected outcome finally takes place here in the Underground. Pentagon. It's just such a breath of fresh air into IPW. We're starting to see his impact he can have. No fear, snapping the arm, and let's be honest, that was minimal from what Spears was able to do in this match. He was silence neutered, and Penta drove the victory with such ease. Massive victory here for Pentagon in our main event. A fantastic match at that, just showcasing Penta's skill. And we have the finisher. 1, 2, 3.
Here is your winner, Penta!
An epic finish for tonight's epic show. Fantastic 45 minutes of action. Rounded out here in the Underground with a big no fear victory. Guess you can say zero miedo. As we see me for the final time tonight. Thanks for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed Underground tonight. I've got to record prime time now, so you'll be getting to see that soon enough. I'm just going to take a look at the card it's proposing. Ooh, that's an interesting opener. Don't like our second match. Third match is a bit what? Fourth bout, okay, this is what I expected. Fifth is nice, I like it. And sixth, bit wild, bit unorthodox. They're really trying to cram his name in my throat and I don't want it. But yeah, that's me Dunsky for today. Hope you've enjoyed IPW Underground. And I will see you very soon for prime time. Peace out. Also subscribe. It's free.